Hello everybody and welcome back to another online history class. Last class we talked about the starting of histories and civilizations and what defines them. Today we're going to talk about something I mentioned last time. Can you guess what it is? We're going to be talking about the first three kings of China. They are Yao, Shun, and Ru. Before there were kings and dynasties, people lived together in tribes and groups. They didn't have any laws or things to ensure their safety, and they didn't have a sense of order. Some got into arguments frequently, some got into brawls, some stole from others, and the others who got stolen from didn't know what to do about it. So people decided that they've had enough and started to look for a new leader. They thought of Yao and appointed him to be the new leader of their tribe. He declined at first, but then the people tried again and he agreed. It was said that Yao was only 20 years old when he became the king. How long do you think he ruled as the king? A. 21 years. B. 44 years. C. 62 years. D. 73 years. And E. 85 years. I'm going to give you 5 seconds, or you can pause the video. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, Yao may not seem that young nor old, but he reigned for 73 years. Wow, that's a long time. He was 93 years old when he stopped ruling as a king, and 119 years old when he died. That's, again, a whopping amount of time. Now, back to when Yao was king. He was very humble and accepting. At his front door, he put a big drum and a pole. People could play on the drum to call him out of his house and make objections to the laws and rules Yao made. When Yao was outside, they could stand near the pole and Yao would know that the people have some suggestions ready for him. This isn't going to be seen commonly later in the dynasties. By the way, this was before the first dynasty ever started. Yao was not a member of any dynasty, just a reminder. In the dynasties, the emperors and kings would make their rules and laws. In some cases, people would object and dislike the rules. That happened pretty often. In that case, those people would face punishments and even death. Oh, wow. It was very rare that somebody would be like Yao, but there still were a couple of emperors and kings who did that. Not many though, not many. Back to King Yao. He wanted to make sure his people knew what times were best to plant certain crops, what times were best to harvest, what times were the coldest, and what times were the hottest. That's right. He wanted to learn about the seasons and let the people learn about them too. He sent people to different places to study the position of the sun and the moon, constellations, weather, climate, and a bunch of other things. What did Yao do when the people came back and reported to him? A. Created a document containing all of this information and sent a copy to each family. B. Created a basic calendar defining seasons and which seasons are the best to do certain things. C. Hosted a contest between the people who came back and had the villagers vote on whose information was best. D. There was way too much information, so he shot down the sun with a bow to create his own seasons. The correct answer was B. D definitely wasn't correct. It was very, very, very much incorrect. Well, that looks like it belonged to a legend. And C was it had very little possibility of being correct either. Yao was a very humble man. A was a little bit tricky, but you should come up with B in the end. With all the information Yao received, he created a calendar specifying times of seasons and what crops to grow, should the villagers harvest the crops or not, the most likely weather in that season, and so on in each separate season, like in spring, autumn, and winter, and summer. This greatly helped the people, and they were very happy and satisfied with Yao's rule, even more than before. This also improved the food quality amount and solved tons of problems like occasional starvation, a small number of crops, and even poisoned foods. This was nice, at least for a while. There were lots and lots of natural disasters happening during Yao's rule. The most influential and noticeable of them all was the Great Flood. The flood caused tons and tons of problems. It destroyed farms and crops, flooded houses near the riverbank, and almost drowned some people. Yao sent a man named Gun to solve this problem. Gun was confident, and he and his men constructed walls, blocking the water from going into the river. However, after a time, the water built up and crushed the walls. This caused even more disaster. Yao had headaches. He was old by then, too old, and he didn't want to deal with all of this. So he set off to find an heir. Now, you might think, why didn't he just pass the throne to his son? Well, first of all, if he did, this would be a dynasty. Second of all, he wanted to find a person with great wisdom, more intelligent than his son, more able to do this king business. And he did. He found Shun, who was also very humble and liked by the villagers. He passed tasks and tests Yao gave him, and so he became the second king. The flood was still happening, and Shun decided to put lots and lots of effort in. He fired Gun because he was still building the walls trying to block the water, and instead hired Gun's son, Yu, to solve this problem. We're going to talk about it next time. See you guys later.